So today, we're going to talk about an ancient practice that, believe it or not, is becoming a modern-day superpower. It's called asceticism. And no, it's not about punishing yourself. It's about reclaiming control in a world that's basically designed to take it from you.
I want to start by asking you a really direct question. Just think about your day-to-day, your habits, your routines, all the little comforts you have. Do you really honestly feel like you're the one in the driver's seat?
Or is it the other way around? Because, there's a huge difference between owning things and being owned by them. And that is the core conflict we're digging into today. The fight to get back your own agency.
Okay, so to really get why this ancient idea is hitting so hard right now, we first have to look at the problem with our modern world. And spoiler alert, it's not a problem of scarcity, it's a problem of abundance.
Think about it. Our entire era is defined by this just crushing abundance of everything. Noise, information, stimulation, it's just constant. We're living in this state of sensory saturation, trapped in these algorithmic loops that are literally engineered to keep us scrolling and clicking and consuming. And what that does is it pushes us into this state of reactive living, where we just lose our ability to act with any real purpose. And this is exactly where asceticism comes in. It's the voluntary, strategic practice of self-discipline. It's this really old, kind of counterintuitive solution to this very modern problem of overload. It's all about creating the space you desperately need to think and act clearly again.
All right, let's just tackle the biggest myth about this whole thing right now. Because when most people hear the word asceticism, they immediately think of, joyless suffering. But that is a complete misunderstanding of the entire goal.
And this right here is such a critical distinction. See, on one side, you've got mortification. That's just pointless suffering, self-hatred, punishment for the sake of punishment. But on the other side, you have discipline. And that's purposeful hardship, something you choose to do to master your desires and build up your will. One is a dead end. The other is the path to real freedom.
The whole point is to be less controlled by your impulses, your fears, your addiction to comfort. You're not trying to deprive yourself of joy. You're trying to liberate yourself from all the junk that gets in the way of you acting with genuine purpose. So you might be wondering, how is this even sustainable? Well, it comes down to two key ideas. First is the middle way. You've got to avoid extremes, right? A starving brain can't exactly meditate. The goal isn't to destroy your body, it's to master it. And second is detachment. This isn't about running away from the world. It's about being fully engaged with it, but without being psychologically enslaved by it.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do you actually build this, spiritual muscle?
Well, the methods are totally timeless, and honestly, they're surprisingly simple.
This is what the old Stoic philosophers called voluntary discomfort. And these aren't punishments. They're small, controlled doses of hardship that prove to your primal lizard brain that you can handle being uncomfortable and you'll be perfectly fine. It's basically a way of killing the fear of hardship before that fear can start controlling your decisions. And beyond that, you've got other classic practices. Regulated fasting is amazing for training your will. Deliberately setting aside time for silence and solitude, that brings real inner clarity. And then there's voluntary simplicity, which we basically call minimalism now. And that's all about asking, do I own this thing or does this thing own me? And just freeing yourself from being dependent on stuff.
So let's take these ancient principles and apply them to our biggest modern challenge, the absolute relentless battle for our attention.
And this is such a crucial point. For our ancestors, the main battle might have been with physical appetites. But for us, today, the #1 ascetic practice has to be managing our digital inputs. Our attention has become our most valuable and our most exploited resource.
So here's your modern toolkit for digital self-defense. Digital asceticism. That means ruthlessly unfollowing anything that triggers outrage or envy. Attention discipline. That's consciously breaking out of those algorithmic addiction loops. And a low-information diet. That's intentionally ignoring all the low-value news and drama so you can protect your focus for deep, meaningful work.
And this brings us to our final section. We're going to cover the most subtle danger of this whole practice, and also its ultimate, most profound reward.
You see, there's this weird, paradoxical trap in all of this. It's sometimes called the ascetic ego, and it's the danger of becoming proud of how humble and disciplined you are. It's a really subtle but super powerful form of self-deception.
So the true test of the practice is the outcome.
If doing all this stuff makes you judgmental or irritable or feel superior to other people enjoying a steak or a comfy bed, then your ego has just found a new, more righteous ways to grow. Real asceticism should make you more compassionate, not less.
The real goal here is a state of what the Stoics called indifference. Now, this doesn't mean you don't care about anything. It's this incredibly powerful ability to fully enjoy a comfort when it's available, but to be completely stable and unbothered if it disappears. That is where true freedom is. You own things, but they absolutely do not own you.
So, what's the big payoff for all this discipline? Well, it's not misery, it's effectiveness. You get way more focus, a much higher resilience to all the chaos life throws at you, and most importantly, you get greater agency over your own life. It leads to a lifestyle of high output with low drama and just clear thinking.
The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche had this beautiful phrase for this total state of well-being, where your mind and your body are strong, they're disciplined, and they're free from all these petty little dependencies. He called it a great health. And really, that's the ultimate prize.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Take an honest look at your own life. Identify your single biggest distraction, the app, the habit, the dependency, and then ask yourself, if you had the courage to just remove it, what would your life finally have the space to become?